Hanna, and I'm the host for the Living Well series for the Friends of Parkinson's organization. Today we are going to be interviewing some amazing guests. First on our list is going to be Gary Wilkos from MicroGerm Defense. MicroGerm is an amazing new product that has reached the lines to not only safeguard your home, your office, and all of the corporations in between, covering coast to coast and offering electrostatic equipment that has actually been proven through EPA and FDA to safeguard your home from COVID along with multiple other viruses and bacteria for up to 90 days. Please let me welcome Gary Wilkos to our show today. Gary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to join you guys, and I'm excited to discuss what our benefits are and the features of our organization, and see how we can help. That's what we're out currently doing, helping as many residential and commercial folks that are, in this time that we're currently in, and we're excited to be here.
I am so excited to share with our group and our followers and all of those that are tuning in today to share a little bit about MicroGerm Defense, and not only about the toxicity and how safe it is, but some of the advantages that it brings to our current situation that we're dealing with COVID and other viruses. Can you elaborate on all that you bring to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. MicroGerm we're a national environmental organization, and we specialize in antimicrobial. And what that is, in layman's terms, is we're taking disinfecting one step further. And although it's necessary to keep your normal protocol in place for cleaning and even deep cleaning during this time, what antimicrobial coatings do, which is what we specialize in, actually comes in and protects the surfaces above and beyond the disinfectant. And as you may know, by law, these disinfectants that are being used on surfaces and on countertops and so forth have to dissipate because of their toxicity levels. Once that takes place, that surface is available to be cross-contaminated. And that's where that's where we come in. We protect the surface. We use, as you mentioned, electrostatic process. The technology will wrap the entire surface. So if someone were to touch a door handle, or they were leaving a restroom, let's say, in a restaurant or in any other facility, if they had something that they might be carrying, even if it was bacteria on their hands, someone forgets to wash their hands leaving the restroom, it happens. We're all human beings. That particular surface cannot be cross-contaminated. That's what the product does. And as you also stated, it is EPA registered in many industries, from medical to hospitality, restaurants, fitness and spa, and obviously in the facilities that you guys are managing.
Having served in healthcare for over 20 years, finding products that will safeguard my communities, working with a sensitive population and geriatric population, I'm always looking for cost-effective and non-toxic solutions to safeguard my community. Can you elaborate a little bit on what one would anticipate for the cost for this service? Can they get it in their homes, and can they get it in their businesses? What would that look like for you?
Absolutely. First and foremost, we want to do our part in making it very affordable. Most folks are barely on their feet. Some are just getting back on their feet. So yes, when it comes to the residential side, we have a very special program we have deployed out into the marketplace. We're only charging $150 to treat an entire home. Whether you have a 5,000 square foot home or a 2,500 or an apartment, we'll probably even work with you even better on a smaller apartment, let's say. When it comes to the commercial space, we'd like to evaluate the space. We like to come in and do some microbe testing to see what might be on the surfaces. And then we'll try to do our best to keep it reasonable. And by reasonable, all companies are getting a charity rate from us currently. We're currently running a special where it's 18 cents a square foot. I don't believe any company, not just in Las Vegas or in Nevada, can touch that price. but all throughout the United States. We just want to cover our costs on the product and our employees and insurances and show people exactly how to protect themselves during this pandemic. Later on down the line, that might change, but for now, we're doing everything we can as an organization to support our community, and that's our goal.
Thank you. I'm very passionate about your services and all that you offer our community. Knowing that Parkinson's has a huge contributor of environmental factors, talk to me a little bit about how frequently one would need to treat their environment or their business to ensure that it's safeguarded using your services.
Well, and that's really where the testing comes in place. Once we do treat a surface or an area, we like to come in and retest every 30 and 60 days to ensure the product's holding up. But once that one-time payment is made, we'll guarantee our work for at least 90 days. If there's a touch-up that needs to be done after 30 days, let's say it's a high-touched area, someone's, let's say we walk into a residential and someone's in and out of their refrigerator 5 to 10 times a day, or may have children and it's a busy area for the home, we'll just touch up that area, we'll retest it and make sure that it's appropriate, and we'll move on to the next area of the home. But it's important to understand the product does have long-lasting capabilities, and that's the difference between us and most products that are in the marketplace. And it's been scientifically tested. We have many studies. Our partner university is The Ohio State University, and so we have many supporting documents to discuss and show the efficacy and resiliency of the product.
Now, understanding that many of us are focused on when we have our house treated, may it be for pest control or other services that we have, sometimes those chemicals are not safe for us to be in the home. Can you elaborate a little bit on what one would expect with your services and safeguarding our homes or our businesses with MicroGerm?
Absolutely. The product that we deploy onto the surface is non-toxic, it's colorless, and it's odorless. So it will not have any negative effects once it's applied and once it's dried. You will not even know it exists on the surface. And the big thing for us is, since we're FDA approved, that's a big deal. The FDA just doesn't hand out those regulatory certifications. And as you know, that's a big, proud stamp of approval that our company and our product carries. And it's important for the folks that are getting the treatment and receiving it to know it's absolutely safe.
Now, last question. Obviously, everyone that I speak to, I share my experiences in partnership with all that you do nationally with MicroGerm. But for someone that's interested, may it be a business or a home, how would they go about contacting you and requesting more information?
Yeah, we have a local number, which is 702-707-9955. We have our website is mgdnv.com, which is MicroGerm Defense NV for Nevada.com. And those are the two easiest ways to reach to us. And once you get on the website, it's easy to navigate and to submit some information our way. Give us a call. We're happy to come out and evaluate, test your facility, and most importantly, do a demonstration to show the efficacy of the product.
Gary, thank you again so much. I'm so excited to share with our community and everyone on the web all that you guys are doing and the safety behind your product. Is there anything that I may have overlooked in my questions tonight that you would like to add?
Not at all. Just the fact that we're here to help. And so I'd ask any business or individual or residential that needs assistance, that we're here for. We're here to help everyone during this time and do our part.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to speaking again soon. Folks, so the great thing about this product is, now that you've heard from one of our distributors, a manufacturer, and understanding the safety behind such a partnership in this community, it doesn't matter where you live, they're serving coast to coast. And in a time like this, where we're looking for non-toxic solutions to safeguard our homes, our families, our businesses, the school institutions, and so much more. What a great opportunity to find a solution that's not only endorsed and certified by the FDA, but one that's non-toxic, that's cost-effective, and most importantly, environmentally friendly for those of us that are so susceptible to the impact that our environment can have. And I hope that you too will look at MicroGerm Defense and enjoy all that they have to offer to safeguard your home in all that you do. Welcome back, Parkinson's community. I am so excited to introduce our next guest on the Living Well series, Janice Kyser. She comes to us not only as an advisory board meeting member for the Friends of Parkinson's board, but she also comes to us as the editorial director for the Parkinsonian. Please let me welcome Janice Kyser. Janice, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to share with our community all that you do and all that you bring to us with the Parkinsonian and so much more. Would you be willing to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I moved to Las Vegas about 3 years ago, and about 2 years ago, I learned of the Friends of Parkinson's. My mother had Parkinson's, and the organization was extremely helpful to me in terms of finding resources and being a support and frankly, a listening ear and directing me in the right direction for my mother. And so I thought, how can I do something to help the organization? Unfortunately, my mother did pass away, but I wanted to stay connected and try to use my talents and skills to help the organization, and that's how I got involved with the newsletter.
And I'd love to share with our community a little bit more about your service on the board as well as your background and bringing forth the Parkinsonian so that everyone listening and watching today can understand a little bit more about all that we offer with Friends of Parkinson's.
Well, I think one of the wonderful things about Friends of Parkinson's is it really is an intimate organization. It really connects people and connects with people. And so many of the in addition to offering, resources and referrals, the organization also has a lot of support groups that are specific to certain constituencies and certain interests and things that will help people live their best life with Parkinson's. So dance and writing and art and singing. And there's a group for veterans specifically. So things that really help people with their disease state, but also, connect with others. It's such an important part of their mental health and that mind-body connection for people with Parkinson's. So it's an honor to serve on the advisory board and help the organization. I have served on other boards when I lived in Los Angeles, and I enjoy helping for causes that are important to me. And for the more than, I believe it is 13,000 people who have Parkinson's in the Las Vegas Valley, and I think it's probably more. It's a really wonderful grassroots, hands-on organization, and so anything I can do to spread the word is really an honor.
I couldn't agree more. Learning as much as I have about the organization and being able to partner with them in all that I do in healthcare and operations has been amazing. You mentioned so many of the different arms and branches that this organization has, as well as where to find those resources. Now, with you being one of the masterminds behind this amazing newsletter, can you elaborate a little bit more about all that you're doing and all you're creating, as well as how someone can get a copy of the newsletter?
Sure. We publish just a few times a year, but we are online, available at www.friendsofparkinsons.org. And the newsletter is, again, we try to show the faces of Parkinson's in our community, all of the things that people are doing. We try to address, in the case of COVID-19 and the pandemic, we try to address maybe the specific health concerns that someone with Parkinson's and other comorbidities may be experiencing. There's a letter from our president, Jamila Ali Rahman, every month, where she reaches out and has a very personal conversation with our donors and supporters and interested parties. And we also include some health news as well. So we try to look at and ways that we can feature our programs, inform people, and then give them something that they can't, get anywhere else, which is a very local perspective on Parkinson's in our community.
Well, knowing that I always look for the newsletter, I'm so thankful for the work that you're doing. We're going to take a brief break. Community, I'm so excited to continue questioning Janice and learning a little bit more about all that she brings to Friends of Parkinson's and the Parkinsonians. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back. Tonight we are interviewing Janice Kyser, the editorial director for the Parkinsonian, and learning so much more about the passion that drives the branches that reach out from Friends of Parkinson's, not only to your email, but to your home and to local businesses in our surrounding areas. Janice, thank you again so much for this evening.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
I would love to know a little bit more about why you feel this newsletter is so important. What value do you feel it brings to the lives and the fellow businesses in our community?
I think it's really twofold. I think for the readers and the people with Parkinson's and their caregivers, it gives them a voice, it gives them a chance to see themselves and to see other people who are coping with some of the same issues and challenges and opportunities that they are. And so it informs them. I hope it soothes them. I hope it provides them with information that helps improve their lives. I think for sponsors and advertisers, it's an opportunity to connect with the Parkinson's community, which is relatively large and growing. And so many aspects of, not only do people with Parkinson's have multiple comorbidities, but there's so many aspects that touch their lives, whether it be physical therapy, whether it be in-home health care, whether it be, there's just so many aspects of health care that are relevant, and so many aspects of just the community at large that I think it's helpful to, if you have a product or service or your business, and that's unlimited, touches people with Parkinson's, it's a great opportunity to reach that constituency.
I couldn't agree more. I also serve as the executive director at Vineyard Henderson, and we're currently under construction. But the benefit to being a sponsor and a member of Friends of Parkinson's is it allows me to also advertise and reach into the homes that I may not reach on a regular basis, and also serve as a resource and support. So I'm gladly speaking out at the rooftops to get more of us that serve in the geriatric population, healthcare, and other support services to get involved, because I don't think that people have a grasp that 14,000 people are afflicted by this disease and the multifacets that they're going to need to support them on their journeys. And right now, for very little, we can get involved and have huge impacts on the lives that we serve. So thank you so much for mentioning that. My last question, sorry about that. My last question for you, Janice, is talk to me a little bit about the mission of Friends of Parkinson's and how we're able to tie that into your newsletter and all that we do for our community.
The mission of Friends of Parkinson's is really simple and I think beautiful all at the same time, and that is to improve the lives of people with Parkinson's. And that really has so many different aspects to it. And I think what's one of the wonderful things about the organization is that it is personal, it is intimate, it takes each person, there are commonalities between people with Parkinson's, but like any other group, they're individuals. And I think the beauty of Friends of Parkinson's is that it respects the dignity of the individual, takes into account their situation, and then goes about trying to find the resources, the activities that person needs to live their best life. And whether that's, directing them to a support group that meets their interests in the arts or in writing, or if they need, movement, physical therapy, anything that helps them express themselves and manage their health in the best way possible, I think is what the mission, I know, is the mission of the organization, and I think it's what makes it so special.
Thank you so very much for your time today and for answering and interviewing and telling us so much more about all that you bring to help support our organization. And there you have it. You get to meet one of our leaders, one of our organizers, and one of our designers of one of the most important newsletters that we have in our area and beyond. She not only brings the development side, but the passion to support our mission, to reach into your homes and your organizations, but is also another resource for you as a business, as a sponsor, or as a family member that's currently facing or dealing with Parkinson's disease. For you to learn more, all I need you to do is call 702-381-4141 to inquire about membership, sponsorship, or becoming a member of Friends of Parkinson's to receive our monthly newsletter and additional resources so that we can walk hand in hand and support you on your journey. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.